Okay, sorry, I forgot to record all that. All right, so let's sit up straight and tall and find a comfortable position to be in and drop in to your breath and your body. Maybe close your eyes if that helps you settle in. Maybe keep your eyes focused on something steady if that helps you settle in. So whatever it is that you need today, let's try to really come home into ourselves here. Our yoga practice is this deeply internal place of discovery, of renewal. So allow your body to start relaxing, aligning, breathing. Melt into the base of your skull and try to let your brain recede a little teeny bit away from your bones so that there's just a softness inside your head. Let that kind of travel into your face and create a softness all around your face. And feel a sense of dropping down into your sit bones, feeling a groundedness in your pelvis. And maybe place your hands on your breath body somewhere. So, somewhere you feel the movement of your body because you're breathing. Could be your belly or your chest or your back or anywhere at all that you feel your arms, anything that moves while you breathe. And just get to know your breath here. Feeling this beautiful spaciousness and length. Hone some patience and let your breath take its own sweet time. When you start to feel like you're getting connected inward and you're ready to remove your hands, let's bring our hands together at our heart and bow in. Feel the centering of this mudra and create an intention, kind of coalesce an intention within this concentrated mudra. Release your hands. Let's find our way to come to your back. Right, so as you come to stretch out and lengthen your body on the ground, let's enjoy. Okay. Always try to remember the joy of your practice. So as you stretch out your body, maybe bring your arms overhead and find some length, reaching through your right side and reaching through your left side, and take notice of what feels good and savor it. All right, and then bring your knees into your chest and give a little bit of a rock or a sway. Let your head softly move as well. All right, then hang on to the knees and let's circle and roll around in the knees. Let's go the other direction. And then let's open up the knees and bring them back in toward the middle and just feel that sense of opening through the pelvis, through the hip joints, Breathing deeply, let your head relax, melt a bit. And then right knee into your chest, left leg long on the ground, and let's roll around in your ankles and wiggle through your toes and feel some movement in your feet. Keep softness in your skull, relax your shoulders. A nice good squeeze of that knee. Okay. All right, and then switch sides. Left knee into your chest, right leg long on the ground, and let's move around and wiggle your feet again. Keep your head heavy, relax your shoulders. A good squeeze of that knee into your chest. And then bring your knees back up one more time into your chest. Let's open the knees away from the middle and bring them back in. And then find your way to a happy baby pose. So we're holding onto our feet or maybe behind your knees, a little compression down toward the ground with your knees, and maybe a little rocking left and right. Just find what's available to open up your spine. All right, great. And then put your feet on the ground and stretch long, so your legs on the ground. A big wide star on the ground. Open and close your fists or roll around in your wrists. Wiggle your toes. Feel the edges of your body. And when you're ready, exhale, draw the knees in. Head comes up, a snug hug. One more time, expanding, open, big and wide. Exhale, drawing your knees into your chest. Put your feet down onto the ground, arms out to the side. Let's windshield wiper your knees left and right. Breathing deeply. Let's find a slightly deeper twist here. So lift your hips up, scoot them to the right, knees up, drop them to the left. And open up across your chest. Feel that twist in your spine. You can hang on to your knees with your hand if you'd like. And any movement that feels good or stillness. So you can be moving your arm or you're turning your head or you can be very still. Just make sure you're breathing. And then a big open star again. One more time, reaching wide. Exhale, knees into your chest. Pick up your head. Put your feet down, lift your hips, scoot them left, knees up, drop them right, and twist open on this side. Maybe stillness, maybe movement. See what feels good, but no matter what kind of twist you're having here, we're breathing. And then go ahead and relax, come back, grab a block. I'm going to stick the block under our pelvis we usually do this toward the end of class, but let's come into a little bit of supported bridge. So low block underneath you and open up your shoulders. You don't have to climb really high onto your shoulders, but just get your chest open. And just take a moment to feel your body breathe. And you can even take your legs wider, like much wider than hip width apart if you'd like. Kind of just find what feels good, where you can feel the front body breathe really well. And then we're going to keep the block under there and come into a happy baby pose again, like we did just a moment ago, but this time with a little bit of lift under our pelvis. Maybe it's a different feeling in your body, just opening up the back of your spine. Lift those legs straight up in the air. And while you have a little bit of supported leg up the wall, let's go ahead and flex and point your toes while you're here. You can even do some circles. Just one more time, kind of opening up your feet. Let's go ahead and put your feet down onto the ground. Lift your pelvis up. Go ahead, stretch to a star one more time. Get that block out of there. Exhale to draw your knees in. Roll to your side and come up to your hands and your knees. As you find all fours, some cat-cows. So take your time to find your way onto your hands and your knees. And once you're steady, start moving through your spine, arching and rounding your back. And moving with your breath. A full inhale, full exhale, letting your spine find its way. And then any kind of movement that feels nice, you can move around in your ribs or your shoulders, move around in your hips, whatever feels nice for your body. All right, and then let's settle back toward a child's pose and walk the hands far out in front of you and stretch your shoulders. Feel some weight drop into your pelvis. A big breath here. And then take a stretch to one side or the other. So we're walking our hands over and opening up our rib cage, and enjoy the beauty of your breath. Over to the other side, feeling that reach through your ribs, drop some weight through your sit bones. All right, and then come back up to your hands and your knees. Let's find a twist, reaching the arm up. Exhale, drop that shoulder down. Full breaths here in, full breaths out. And when you're ready, let's stretch that arm back up to the sky. Hand down onto the ground. Let's switch sides. Arm high, drop it under and twist. Gaze toward the ground. Let your head be neutral. Your eyes are soft. All right, and then when you're ready, lift that arm back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. Let's lift to a dog pose. So as you find your way up off the ground a little bit more, take some time, maybe pedaling your feet, maybe feeling your way into some calf and feet opening, hamstrings. Just discover what you're feeling. Softly move your head and let it softly surrender. Feel the rooting of your hands and your feet and expand through your torso, through your arms, your shoulders, your legs. Fill and empty your breath. All right. When you feel ready, you can walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana, a forward fold. Relax your head again. Shimmy your hips if you like, any kind of movement that feels nice. Inhale for a halfway lift, expanding and lengthening through your spine here. Exhale to release and melt again. Relax your skull. Push through your feet, rising up. Bring the arms to the sky, feeling that extension, opening up through your chest. Let's cactus through your arms, expand through your chest. Exhale, round in chin to chest. Inhale, arms up. Big cactus arms. Exhale, round, rising high, and then dipping low, swan dive forward. Relax the base of your skull, soft neck. Inhale for a halfway lift, growing longer in your spine, feeling your body open. Exhale to fold. Let's step back to a dog pose. Hands broad, feet broad. Feel the yield and the push and reach. Not time your breath, but get in time with your breath. So notice your breath and let your breath be the guiding light of your movement. On your next in-breath, let's come forward to a plank and hold yourself steady. Push the ground away. Feel that engagement, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing full and deep. Let's put the knees down. Find the ground. Roll the shoulders a little bit, so get free here. Inhale, a cobra. Nice big open broad chest. Exhale and melt to come back down. One more time, shoulder blades down. Bend the elbows. Lift on up, stretch your legs. Melt to come back down. Okay, come up on tall fours. Move around in your spine. Wag your tail. Free up any movement that feels good. And then lift to a dog pose again. Feeling extension and length, spread open the bones of feet and hands. Yield and then push and reach. Feel that opening in the body. Lift your right leg up in the air and stack open that hip so we feel that stretch through our belly, our ribs, our hip. And put that foot down onto the ground, switching sides. And your leg can be straight or bent. Your choice here. Breathing deeply. And then put that foot down and walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana, a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift, expanding through your spine. Melt to relax. Again, melt through your head. Grab the base of your skull with your hands, the base of your hands. Have a little bit of traction. So bend your knees as much as you want. Teeny bit of traction down and then draw in. Opening up, stretching some of those paraspinal muscles. And then release that. Hands back onto blocks, halfway lift. Get onto some high blocks. Let's pause here for a moment. Reach your femur bones up and back and spread open the bones of your feet. Feel all that extension in your spine. Walk your blocks over to the right side of your mat and stretch your left hip back. Inner spiral the thighs, heart expanding forward, feeling that hip open up. And back to center. Walk the blocks over to the left side of your mat, drawing your right hip back, feeling the heart open, broaden, expand. And then come back to center. Feel the reach of your spine and then melt, fold. Let your back open up. Relax your head and let it bubble. Okay. All right, push through your feet, rising up, bringing the arms to the sky, feeling that extension. Let's cactus open one more time. Squeeze those muscles back there in the back of your body. And then we're going to reach our arms up. Now imagine you have you're going to do a pull-up or you're pulling down of a heavy bar so that we just really activate a lot of those muscles in our ribs and in our back body. All right, and then inhale, reaching the arms up. Take your hands at your sides and give your hands a good shake. Interlace your hands behind your back or grab a strap behind your back between your hands. Open up across the front of your chest and take your hands onto your low back for a moment, or really onto your pelvis. I have my fists against my pelvis. So draw your elbows back and toward each other. Lift the heart. Keep your floating ribs in. Keep the base of your skull relaxed. Unlock your knees. And then when you're ready, release your hands down toward the ground. Straighten your elbows a little bit more and then lean forward and stretch your arms away from your spine. Opening up through the fronts of your shoulders. Relax your neck. Breathing deeply. A full inhale. A full exhale. Neck is super relaxed in this position. And then release your hands down toward the ground. Grab onto your elbows. Have a little shimmy of your ribs away from your hips. Relax your head and just hang. And inhale for a halfway lift, melting to fold. Step back to a lunge, right foot in front, left foot comes back. Okay. Open the heart space, broaden the collarbones, and let's bend and straighten the front knee. Move slowly. Try to wait for your breath to guide your movements. Remember, we're seeking joy in the body. We're noticing sensations and just savoring what we feel. All right, ground your legs, push through your feet, rise up to a crescent lunge, arms coming up to the sky, finding your breath. And we'll do a little bit of movement here. Cactus, open the arms on an in-breath. And as you exhale, press forward and lean forward. Push through your feet, rising up. Big breath in, cactus, exhale, forward. Pause here up at the top. And then we'll release our hands and climb up to a half split. So hands on blocks, square the pelvis, engage your glutes of that leg in the air, lift it a little higher. Knit your ribs in, find your breathing, and lift your right hip up. Take a deep breath in, exhale, Jiva squat. Drop in, bend that knee, bow your head, then push slowly into straight legs again. Exhale to drop in, Jiva squat. Inhale to press straight. One more time. Find your core. Knit those ribs in. Keep your glutes active. And then place that foot down next to the right one. A halfway lift. Let's melt to fold here. Relax your neck. Let's step our right foot back, come to a lunge. Grounding your legs, enjoying what it feels like to open up your back hip a bit. And then when you feel ready, let's start moving. Straightening and bending the front knee. Taking your time. Breathing well. All right, root your feet down, push down, rise up, crescent lunge, arms coming to the sky. Floating ribs knit in a bit, feel that stability of your body. Engage through your glutes, so make sure the back legs are turning on. And let's start that movement. So on your next in-breath, let's cactus. Then on your out-breath, press. One more time, pressing forward, engage your core, push the feet down, rising up. And then we'll bring our hands onto our blocks and come up to stand on our left foot. Squaring your hips, legs are straight. So it may feel like you don't need your core, but use it anyway. Press into the ground, lengthen your crown, lift that leg in the air. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee, drop your head, bow in. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, right knee tucks next to or behind left knee. One more. Finding breath. Put that foot down and just pause and wait until you feel like you've dissipated some of that energy into an equality between your two legs. Find a half lift, expand your breath, open up. Exhale to fold. Stick one of those blocks between your thighs. Come into a chair pose with a block. Okay? You can always ignore me if you don't like using blocks. Now see if you can feel the whole line of the back body. Keep the base of the skull relaxed. So that is part of the back line, but we can overdo there sometimes. So try to not take tension in the base of your skull. Draw your femur bones back. Press your feet down. So you're engaging your hamstrings and your glutes and the spinal muscles and your shoulders. Breathing deeply. And then we'll come up standing straight and release our hands down. Get rid of that block for a moment. And let's go ahead and find a dog pose. Feeling that extension in your body, open up the back line. And come forward into a plank. Push the ground away, shoulder blades down the back, finding breath. Integrate through the center of your body, the core is engaged. Okay, put your knees down onto the ground. Wiggle around in your spine a little bit, maybe wagging your tail, maybe a cat-cow. We're going to come into a bird dog. So right leg straight back behind you, lifted in the air. Left arm out in front of you, thumb up, toes down. Look at the ground instead of forward. Press your shin into the ground, knit your ribs in, feel your back muscles. Deep breath in as you exhale, elbow and knee underneath. Inhale, bring it on out. Exhale, bring it under. Start to light up all those stabilizing muscles that help you balance. All right, and then we'll put that hand and knee down. Pause in child's pose for a moment and feel how close you are to the ground. Let your head drop all the way to the earth if you can. All right, and then we'll come back up and we'll repeat on the other side. So our left leg is up in the air. Notice if you droop your rib cage down, knit your rib cage in. Take your left arm or right arm out in front of you, thumb up. Okay, toes down, thumb up. Integrate. Find your breath. When you're ready, a deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale underneath. Try to minimize the wobbles. Feel those stabilizing muscles. Move slowly. Look at the ground. Focus your gaze. Focus your breath. And then when you're ready, hands down, knees down, child's pose. Let the child's pose help you relax everything. Soften your skull. Move through your breath. Getting expansive on the inhales and exhales. All right. Spread out through your hands. We're going to come into puppy pose first. So walk your knees back a little bit so that you can drop your chest down toward the ground. Open up your shoulders a bit. Feel your hips stay high. And then walk forward with your knees or back with your hands. And we're going to come into a forearm plank. You can always put a block between your hands with your hands facing the edges of the block if that's better for your shoulders or balance or support. Or you can have your hands down onto the ground, palms spread wide. Try, if your hands are on the ground, wrists, elbows, and shoulders line up on a line. And we're going to inhale to lift first your hips up high. Let's start this in a dolphin pose instead of a plank. We'll get there. Lift your ribs up high. All right, and then we're going to slowly walk our feet back so that we come to a forearm plank. Drop your shoulders. You can always put your knees down if you need some support. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Feel your core engage. Engage your legs, your glutes, everything's strong here to support you. Deepen your breath. Okay. And then we're going to walk up into a dolphin pose. Again, this time we'll stay a little longer. So elbows, shoulders, wrists on line with each other. Lift up away from the ground. Lift your hips up and back and breathe. Okay. And then come down and relax in child's pose. Take your two blocks next to each other, short edges touching. Put your elbows on your blocks. Stretch back towards child's pose again and drop your thumbs toward your spine. So a tricep stretch for you here. Breathing deeply. All right, and then relax that. Come out of there. And we're going to bring our right leg forward. Keep your back knee down onto the ground, so stretching up, open into that hip flexor of the back leg. Push through your front foot, reach that arm up high, left arm up high. Maybe the right hand is on a block, maybe it's holding your leg. And let's stretch open to a side bend here. Okay, back up, we'll turn it to a twist, to elbow or forearm on your knee, collarbones broad. Now you can always be lifting up the back knee off the ground and curling the toes under if you'd prefer. Expand through your breath. Full expansion open, full condensement on the exhale. All right, and then come back to center. Push that foot down into the ground, and let's just switch sides while we're here. Okay, keeping close to the ground. Now our left foot is in front. Come to a lunge on this side. Try to have your heel under your knee instead of lunging your knee way past your ankle. Find your breath. Enjoy the hip flexor stretch. Oh, come on up. Maybe your hand's on your leg, maybe it's on a block, but let's side bend over. So reach that right arm up and over to the left, feeling an expansion, and make sure you breathe deeply. Okay, when you feel ready, let's twist this pose. Maybe your hand or your elbow or your forearm, just find your way. Same as the other side. If you lifted your back knee up off the ground, do it again on this side. Stabilizing with your legs. Hug them to the midline and press them down. And then come back to center. Hands down onto the ground. Lift to a dog pose. Legs nice and wide. Take your breath. And then walk your feet forward. Come to Uttanasana. Inhale for a halfway lift. Melting to fold. Step the left foot back. Come to a lunge. Drop your heel all the way down. Virabhadrasana 1, reaching the arms up. Extend, maybe interlace your fingers, maybe your arms are wide, maybe your hands are out, maybe your hands are back and you're leaning forward a little bit. Find the variation that supports your body. Make sure your low back is not compressed, but rise out of the pelvis. Breathing deeply. Okay, we're gonna reach the arms behind us now. Lean forward. Gather your strength in that leg, Virabhadrasana 3. You can hold on to a wall or something if you want. Arms back behind you, so you can always put them in front of you, but for today, maybe behind you. Engage your triceps, square your hips, breathing deeply, and if you get wobbly, no problem. And don't worry, feel your core. Remember those bird dogs. Okay. All right. And then come on up and put that foot down onto the ground next to the other. Pause here for a moment. Discover your balance, center your energy, find your breath. Okay, and we're going to take our left foot forward, right foot back. Plant your heel down. When you come up, make sure no matter what you're choosing to do with your arms or what position you're in, that your low back is not smushed. We're finding space. Root into your feet, engage your glutes, rise out of your pelvis. Maybe your head tips back. Maybe it just leans facing forward to see what works. Vera 1. When you feel ready, take your arms back, engage your triceps, lean forward. We're gonna hop up onto your left foot, Virabhadrasana 3. Squaring the hips, glutes are alive, triceps engaged, lift your arms a little higher than your back, knit your ribs in, lots of core. Reach crown to foot. Keep breathing. Okay. And then when you feel ready, come down and put your feet on the ground and stand in Tadasana. And just pause here. Balance poses, they're always tricky, right? So let your mind and your body rest in Tadasana. One more balance pose we'll do here. So we're going to do dancer pose. If you need to hold a wall or something, grab a wall. We'll stand on our right foot. We're going to pick up our left foot. You can use a strap around your ankle if you need. First, just engage, lengthen your quad, tail down. Reach that right arm up in the air, and then we'll start to tip forward. And remember, we're not smushing our low back and letting our ribs fall. Knit your ribs in. Engage your leg that you're standing on well. Hamstrings and glutes are active. How's your breath? Doesn't matter how deep you go. You can go very deep or just a little. All's good. Keep everything square. And come all the way back up. Put that foot onto the ground. Notice if you lost your breath along the way. You know, if you ever get the feeling that you get short of breath or you feel like you're holding your breath, you can always take a pause, return. Remember, our practice is not about overextending our energy. It's about kind of coalescing and concentrating. You can, go run around the block if you want to get your heart rate and your breath really moving. But our yoga practice is really trying to steady our breath. Okay. All right. Ground through your left foot. We're going to take hold of the right. If you need a strap, use a strap. And you might notice, like, I'm way less balanced on this leg than I am on the other. My knee feels unstable. So maybe that happens to you too, where you have one leg where it's a little more challenging. So pay attention to that. Engage your core, square the hips, feel the roots of your foot, and then tip to whatever place is good for you. Unlock your standing knee, keep things square. Melt the base of your skull. The muscles along your back are working. Knit your ribs in. And then when you feel ready, come back up to stand 2 feet on the ground. Pause one more time and just enjoy that sense of groundedness and the ease that comes from the simple fact of having 2 feet on the ground. Big breath in, rising up. Exhale, floating forward. Let your neck and your back relax. Inhale for a halfway. Melt to fold again. Step back to a dog pose, feeling that length in your body again. On your next breath in, come forward to a plank. And slowly lower yourself down. Inhale, cobra. Melting again. And we'll grab onto our feet now, Dhanurasana. You try to keep your knees in line. Open up your shoulders like we did when we had our hands clasped behind our back. And if you can't reach your ankles, you can always use a strap. If this back bend doesn't work for you, maybe try a bridge pose instead. Take a deep breath in, lift on up, everything up, 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 up. Keep your neck long. Try not to strain the back of your neck. Breathing well. Open your shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Use all those back muscles. Use your glutes and your hamstrings. And then relax and melt. Put your hands underneath your head. Pick up your feet and rock your feet. Windshield wipering your knees left and right. And we're going to bring our right knee up high toward our armpit. Look at your knee for a moment, let your back open, and we'll turn this into a twist when you're ready. So the left arm threads underneath you and roll open. Right back of right hand comes down to the ground. Big breath, melting your head. Melt your head. Keep your head relaxing. And then come back to center. Let's switch sides. Left knee up, maybe take a look at it. Turn your torso. And when you're ready, thread the right arm underneath you, roll open, left hand comes onto the ground. Breathe your way into this twist. Relax your head. All right. Come back out of there, rolling onto your belly. Come up on tall fours, and you're going to decide whether you're going to switch and come onto your back for a reverse pigeon pose or grab what props you need for a regular pigeon pose. Whichever you're doing is great. Squaring the hips, no matter your pose, hips are square. Lengthen through your spine. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, come down. So your front heel can be close to your pubic bone or pulled further away. Your back leg is straight behind you. Try not to sickle your foot in. Toes are straight back or curled under. Square your hips. Widen your sit bones and lengthen your spine. Keep your head melting so the base of the skull is deeply relaxed. Soften through your jaw. If you're on your back, all the same things pretty much apply. Wide sit bones, lengthen spine, rest your head, square your hips. No rush. When you feel ready, you can come out of that posture and switch sides. Reverse pigeon or pigeon. If you're in pigeon, your heel can be close in or pulled out. Kind of check in with your joints, your knees, your ankles, your hips, your SI joints. Feeling that extension and length in your body. And as you come forward, rest your head on a block. If you're on your back, melt the back of your head into the floor. So we want our head to be resting. Square hips, wide sit bones, long spine. All right. When you feel ready, come out of that pose. We're going to come down onto our back, grab a strap. Let's just pause on your back for a moment. Feel that change of um, direction of gravity. And then let's put our feet in, 2 feet into the strap. And as you reach your feet up, root your hips down. Feel the long spine and melt through the back of your head. Full breaths here. All right. Relax your legs down. And let's go ahead and find anything that you need for releasing into Shavasana. It could be a happy baby, could be a twist, could be nothing at all. You can just feel very ready to lie down for Shavasana. So just take those last little tweaks to nourish yourself. And then always remember that you can take support in any way you need. So a nice lift under your knees with blocks with a blanket on top or anything that you've got can feel very soothing after some back bends. You can have a little lift under your knee when you feel good. So as you find your way to Shavasana, just do what you can to feel the melting of your body. Make sure that once you get down and feel like you're going to rest and not move, are you comfortable? Does anything need to change? Breathe well. Full inhale. Full exhale. Keep resting the weight of your head, relaxing your neck, softening through your jaw, releasing your eyes. Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Wiggle around in your fingers and your toes. Enjoy a big stretch if that feels good in your body. Breathing well. Eventually finding your way to your side. Finding yourself to a comfortable seat. Let's offer the gifts of our practice. Offer your love and care for another. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.